ask you this. Then I'm not going to speak on Orlando. Let me ask you something about yourself. There was a rumor that Tupac had knocked you out one time.
I'd have killed him.
That would have been your response if that happened.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you and everybody else. I said it on my podcast show. Him, Suge, and my brother. I'd have shot all three of them if he touched me. That's how I was living.
Why is that?
That's what I was back then.
And so,
Whenever you're ready.
thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McDonald, it's fair to say that you're here because of a court order. Is that right?
Correct.
That you didn't volunteer to come or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay. But you were instructed by a court that you had to attend.
Yes.
At the time you live in Compton, you go back to Compton, and you tell us that there was a lot of tension. Was there? Can you describe that for us when you went back in terms of what kind of tension we're talking about?
You sure you want me to answer that?
Is it going to be graphic?
No, I ain't gonna. I got to raise the word in it, but you asking me a question. I don't. And what I explained to them, I don't want to send him to prison.
Sure.
Even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you to prison. So that's why I'm here where I'm at and the way I am, because I changed my life. I'm raising my grandkids, teaching them never to be like their papa. And here I am explaining to people what I used to be. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. And you asking me questions that can hurt him. And like I told them, I'm trying to avoid to answer the questions that they might look at me and say, something is wrong.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me help you out with this.
Okay.
So these people right here, what they want to know from you is, did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct. So outside of that question, right, the next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a Southside Crip shoots a Pyro Blood, and then a Pyro Blood shoots a Southside Crip? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Do I answer this?
That's a straightforward question. It's a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Did you see that?
When I was a part of that life, I was a part of that.
Once again.
And I was, no, because you asking something that's gonna hurt this dude. And when okay, let me stop.
And once again, I want to emphasize.
When we got back to Compton,
Okay.
it was a gang war. People were getting hurt.
Okay.
People was being sought. People were looking for certain individuals from his neighborhood,
Okay.
as well they did mine.
Okay.
But Orlando, him, and certain other people were being assaulted because people wanted to kill them.
Sure. Were they the only ones that they wanted to kill?
I'm not the only one up in here. No, they weren't the only one.
Okay.
It's his neighborhood in particular.
That's right.
But they were the main subjects of a gang war. They was in the middle, such
Sure.
as me.
So you're telling us that people back home somehow had some type of information that said that that guy, as a bunch of other people, were involved in what?
In the murder of Tupac.
Okay. But my question to you,
Stop.
can you focus on me for a second, sir?
Yeah, I will.
And I apologize. I just want to make sure that we're clear, okay, for these people. In terms of that information, none of those people were there, right?
And what people you be speaking on? The people that was already in the neighborhood, or the people that left Las Vegas that same night Tupac was shot to go home, bear their arms, and go to somebody else's neighborhood
Right.
to look for somebody? They had to pay it back.
So once again, my question to you is that the information that I'm asking about is the people that back home, you're saying were eyewitnesses to this?
How could people back home be eyewitnesses to something that happened in Vegas? No, that's not what I'm saying.
The people that were here in listen to my question, sir. The people that were here in Las Vegas, you're telling me, were eyewitnesses to what happened and went back home. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, the people that was at
Just
662.
answer my question, sir. Yes or no?
I can't
Is it
answer
a
that
yes or no?
without a what you call it. You trying to tell me to say something that you're not going to understand. If you let me explain to you.
No. Answer my question.
I'm not answering nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, focus for a
No,
second.
I am focused, very.
Focus on this. My question to you is this. You didn't know what happened that night because you weren't there.
I was at 662.
Right. Do you know who that was there?
I know everybody that was there.
Okay. Like who?
Talk to your lawyer, man. This dude is tripping. I'm not gonna explain that. I can't answer that. Like I explained to everybody in here. You ask me something, I'm gonna be honest about. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're gonna have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not gonna talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not finna send him to prison. You are.
So the accusation now is because of the fact that we're trying to ask you questions, you're blaming it on me.
You asking me questions. If I just like answer your questions, we gonna have a problem in here, a misunderstanding.
Let me be clear about something before we get into this. I am in no way laughing at the fact that Tupac lost his life, or at the possibility that Keefe D could spend the rest of his life behind bars. I'm not laughing at the pain this case has caused Mob James and everyone else connected to it, the families, the loved ones who lived through all of this. That's not something I'd ever make light of. What I am reacting to is the way this played out inside the courtroom in real time. I tried to keep a straight face, I really did, but the theatrics were something else. I've genuinely never seen anything like it. At one point, while someone's on the stand, you hear him turn to his own attorney and say, "Man, get your lawyer, get him." And I'm just sitting there like, hold on, what is happening right now? Here's the thing though, the prosecution had already gone through their line of questioning. Keefe D's defense team came in after with their own approach, and if you understand what they were actually doing, it makes sense. They weren't trying to prove he wasn't involved in anything. They were establishing that yes, there was a gang war happening, yes, tensions were real, but he didn't personally see anyone pull a trigger. He wasn't in the car, he wasn't at the scene. That's the doubt they're trying to plant with the jury. Not innocence, just doubt. Reggie White's name has also come up throughout this case over the years, and he was actually in the courtroom today too. This is a genuinely wild situation from every angle. Now, here's what a lot of people don't realize about why we're even at day 2 of this trial. If Keefe D had simply kept quiet, none of this would have happened. Back in 2008 or 2009, he caught a drug case and struck a proffer agreement with federal and state prosecutors, meaning whatever he told them couldn't be used against him later, as long as he held up his end. But instead of staying quiet, he went and did interviews. He did a documentary. He wrote books about it. And that's what nullified the protection he had. In my opinion, prosecutors are working with a technicality here. By his own account, he was present, but he never claimed to have pulled the trigger. Still, being there, the timeline, the location, all of it is enough for them to build a case around 30 years later. And really, this is a situation he put himself into by talking. Let's be honest, the man is 63 years old. That's 1 year older than my own father. Watching someone put himself in this position and watching it all play out after decades is heavy. He's also the only person still alive who was actually in that car that night. This is one of the biggest cases tied to one of the greatest rappers of all time. Still, my personal number 1, without question. The fact that we're still watching this unfold 30 decades later says everything about how deep this story runs. And there's more to come. Suge Knight is already serving significant prison time. Keefe D is now facing the possibility of a lengthy sentence himself. Think about how this all started. A gang rivalry that different artists and rappers got pulled into over the years. Now, 30 years on, the men who lived through it have gotten older, and some are still ending up in prison because of it. Even Diddy's name has come up in connection with all of this, along with several others. There's clearly more to this story, and we'll keep you updated as it develops. I wanted to cover this today while it's happening in real time, and I'll be watching closely to see where it goes. But at the core of it, this looks like a case of someone talking too much and prosecutors finding the technicality they needed to make it stick. We'll have to see how it plays out. Let me know what you think in the comments. More videos on this are coming. Stay tuned.